Hello everyone and welcome back to more Banjo-Kazooie, and in this one we're going to be finishing off Freezeezy Peak this time around. However, unlike the other episodes, this one turned out to be very short, and the reason why is because while I did time how long this episode actually took in my normal run, when actually recording it I did this even faster throughout the level, so the episode just had to be called off shortly really, because the area that I stopped at, I had to keep stopping at that area, because then it keeps the continuity flowing and it makes sense going on to the next episode. So unfortunately you're just going to have to deal with a 30-minute video of this. I hope this doesn't become too much of a habit for the later worlds, and honestly I don't think it will, because the worlds get bigger and bigger along the way, so you know, let's just hope for that. Anyway, the creature that Mumbo turned us into is this walrus right here, which makes us immune going past this icy water. If we were Banjo and Kazooie before, we would likely take a hit. In fact, I don't even remember if I took a hit as those, like in the previous episode, because again of how bloody oblivious I am. Like, I've noticed that a lot over time. I'm just getting more and more oblivious as time goes on, and that's a bit annoying really. It is really slow though as the walrus. This is probably one of my least favourite power-ups in the game, or at least the creatures that you turn into. You're this walrus, but it doesn't do anything. It literally just walks about, it has no attacks or anything. It's only just to get to certain things right here, like this boogie race. I suppose what I could have done really to show this off is, with the boogie race, when you approach him as Banjo and Kazooie, he will say, sorry, but I'm looking for a walrus to race or something, and so he won't accept to race you as your normal form. So instead you have to become the walrus before doing that, but I thought, there's no need. I mean, I just want to get this level mainly done fast and quickly, because I freaking love doing like, okay, I wouldn't really call this a speedrun of Freezeezy Peak, because when you actually look at the term speedrun of Banjo and Kazooie, oh boy, they destroy me, definitely. One little piece of advice though I will have if you have a bit of trouble on the boogie races is I noticed the momentum changes when you're the walrus and you jump uphill. Like this slope right here, when I jump up it, I suddenly just get this little boost. I don't know if that was actually intentionally programmed for the game, but it works for me anyway, so anytime you're the walrus or even as something else, when you go up the hill, if you just continuously jump, you'll just get much further ahead of Boogie, and that's a good thing right there. And if he does overtake you, for some reason, I don't know why, Boogie just slows down for you and allows you to catch up. It's almost like he's thinking, I'm too good, I'm just going to slow down because you suck or something. Like, oh god, Boogie is so annoying. But look at this right here. I continuously jump and look how far ahead I am. And with this last hill right here, you see how long it took him just to get past the finish line? Like seriously, that is your go-to when you're racing against Boogie. If you see a hill and you're on the thing, just jump. Just continuously jump and you should be fine. And with that, we get a Jiggy right here. But one thing I really like about the design when it comes to racing against Boogie is every time you finish the race, it will end in this exact location. So it will go through pretty much halfway through Freezeezy Peak, meaning that I can now tie this in with getting the Jiggy from Miss Seal and then venturing inside his cave, which is really cool. Whereas what I could have done is race Boogie at the very beginning, became the walrus and whatnot, and then get that much later. But I just thought, because the race starts there and finishes at this point, it makes sense just to save going to the seal and going inside and just leave it that way, you know? Also, oh man, one thing I always love doing in this, I don't know, it's probably just my silly sense of humor really, is when I go underwater in this cave, just listen to the music, okay? It sounds so goofy. Anytime that music's playing and just seeing this walrus just lollop about in the cave, I don't know, I can't take it seriously, man. I just think it's hilarious, I'm gonna say. Well, not like the most funniest thing of all time, I don't know. It just gives me a little bit of a chuckle, let's just say that. Also, we got a honeycomb piece right there. Did I even collect the other honeycomb piece? Because I swear one of the other honeycomb pieces inside the snowmen. Like that, I also like that as well, even though the snowmen are a bit of an annoyance. When you kill them and you collect the stuff, it is very useful. Like for a start, you get a Gruntilda switch. I think so anyway, yeah. Gruntilda switch, a honeycomb piece, and an extra life as well, I think. Thankfully not a Jinjo. That would be a pain in the arse if you had to break one of those in order to get a Jinjo, but still. Oh, this bit can be a bit annoying though, because I now need to go back to Mumbo's place in order to transform back into my normal self, because now I'm going to be showing off the backtracking thing. And because the walrus is so bloody slow moving about, I'm going to speed this up. See you guys in a bit. Yeah, I just thought it wasn't really necessary to show that. I mean, you can see I'm on my way back, and I'm going to go into Mumbo and transform back into my normal self, so there's no point in showing any of that. So I just thought, you know, forget it, let's just speed it up instead. Because, oh boy, that's probably one of my least favourite things, I suppose, about Freezeezy Peak, is when you do turn into the walrus and you're high up or something, it takes forever just to get back and do the thing. Oh, and this is what I mean when I talked about the backtracking stuff, because if I speak to Boggy right here, while we did race against him as the walrus, we're now going to be racing him again this time around. However, we can't keep up with him as our normal self. We can, though, with the speed up that I got. You see, what most people tend to do is they go to Freezeezy Peak, they get 9 Jiggies only, then they make their way over to Gobi's Valley, collect the item, then go back here in order to, basically grab the last Jiggy in Freezeezy Peak, so while they're racing against Boggy. The way I like to do it nowadays is just go to Gobi's Valley first, get the speed up item, and you can literally collect all 10 Jiggies in Freezeezy Peak in one shot that way. And because of that, it makes the ending even more special when you give the presents back to the kids, and you'll see what I mean when we get to it or so. But again, much like with the sledge, when you're racing against him as the walrus, it's the same thing. Just run about, and when you go up a hill, just keep on jumping. I guess the sledge just has the same physics applied to Banjo and Kazooie. I don't really know how that makes any sense, but still. Except don't expect this to be too easy, because even though you are jumping, look at how fast this damn bear catches up. He honestly catches up very quick, and he literally just shoves me out the way right there. It's really weird. Dole. Oh, Brimmer, I see he's also voiced by Dan Castellaneta right there. I don't know, that always reminds me of it anyway. It's the trademark, isn't it? Anyway, with that, that should be the 9th Jiggy as far as I'm aware. At first I was going to say 10th. Oh no, actually, it's the 8th, because I think... Yeah, I do. I have one more Jiggy right inside here. Or at least Jinjo, should I say, because if I go to this walrus, it will basically say, "Let's terrified of me because I'm a bear." I don't know if it's terrified actually of Kazooie at all. I know it's terrified of the bear because it's a bear. Kazooie is just a bird, isn't she? So I guess he's not too worried about that. Also, foreshadowing right here. There's a key right there that we can't quite get. And we won't get for a very, very, very long time. And what I mean by that is literally in the bonus video where I show off this thing called Stop and Swap. And I haven't used that yet. I mean, I've used it in the N64 version, but I have never unlocked it in the actual Xbox 360 version where it was properly utilized. So as like a bonus content, this is a cool way to actually segue into it. What I'm going to be doing is showing off the stop and swap feature and show you how it was properly used, what the original idea was, etc. It should be interesting stuff because, wow, it was ambitious. It was pretty much similar to the lock-on technology of Sonic and Knuckles, because if you connect Sonic and Knuckles to the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 Sega Mega Drive or Genesis cartridge, it would then unlock Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles. Kinda similar, but not exactly. I mean, they did it in a much more smarter way in my opinion, but that's just me. But with all that, that's all the presents delivered to the kids, and because Boggy's right there, it means that while they do get their presents given to them, because I've already raced his dad, or their dad shall I say, and gone back to where they live, Boggy is now there, and he has this extra piece of dialogue that says, "I wish those kids would be quiet. Oh, Boggy needs some sleep." I know the dialogue isn't that freaking amazing or anything, but I don't know. I just like to show things in the complete way, and it just makes more sense that way, you know? Because when you go to the kids and his dad, their dad isn't home. I keep saying his dad. It makes no sense, man. But when that happens, it doesn't flow, in my opinion. And there you go. That's why I went to Gobi's Valley first. Just so that then I can collect all 10 Jiggies in one singular shot. Also, I'm going to look at my view totals right now. And see how long this took me. I should have done that inside the level to save me traversing all this way to see what it says. It took me 22 minutes. 22 minutes. If I started that level in a normal run, or an episode, should I say, at the very beginning, I would have got that episode done in one single shot in 22 minutes. That's crazy. I'm not saying it's like a world record pace or anything, but to me, that's like the fastest time I've ever had on Freezeezy Peak. I played this game just way too much that I don't know. Seeing things like that just makes me happy, what can I say? Also, this is another reason why I decided to get the speed up thing, because it will also allow me to get the extra Gruntilda Jiggy that I activated. Because if you were paying attention to where it was, it appeared at the top alongside the Freezeezy Peak area. And I know I could have flown up through the cave in order to get this. I don't know. I always just find it easier just to go underneath and then get to it that way. Also, failed attempt here. I tried to collect the Jiggy without actually doing this dance animation, so then I was flying into it, but the camera kind of screwed up on me. Like, this camera will sometimes play up here and there, but it's a game from 1997, so, you know, or at least it might be 1998 in Europe, but I'm pretty sure the official release for this in places like America, Japan, and that etc. is 1997. I think, anyway. You know me, I'm not very good with facts. But either way, we're actually coming to almost a close to this episode. Actually, wow, bloody hell, that went by fast, and I'm just going to ignore this pot right here. I would jump into it and show you, here you go, here's proof that it does lead you down to where I got the Jiggy, but there's no point. I've already got the Jiggy, and what's going to happen is, I'm going to fall, and because it's already collected, I'm just going to take damage from the height, so there's actually no physical point in doing that. Before making our way into Gobi's Valley, though, I want to go and see Gruntilda and ask her a couple more questions. So let's just see what she has to say about Gruntilda. Grunty's best friend at which school was the awful sweaty Betty. Wait, why is she talking every time? Many tricks are up my sleeve. To save yourself, you'd better leave. She's done this every time on every Gruntilda thing. When relaxing, she usually reads Warty Girls Weekly magazine. Okay, and the final one after that. While sipping a glass of her favourite smoothie, elephant sweat. Jesus Christ, she is a foul woman, isn't she, to do all this stuff, but I suppose she is a witch. And thanks for restoring my health, Gruntilda, that helps out a lot. But either way, this ends off this episode of Banjo-Kazooie, and I'm gonna read the thing again. I think I was just double checking to see if I did show off all three. So, that marks the end, and in the next episode we're going to be going onwards to Gobi's Valley. So take care guys, and I will see you in the next episode of Banjo-Kazooie. Get in the door. Move. Go. That was horrible.